Saka has 11 Man of the Match awards in 37 England caps. Best player in the World Cup and Euros quarterfinals. I don't think people realise how well-rounded Saka is. In terms of Saka, that performance, top-notch. His output, top-notch. The finish, fantastic. I guess the question now is, like, where is this taking him? Because club level, you can see he's at level. We always say that you have to do it at the biggest level. Champions League campaign was delivering.
Bro, he's easily England's most important player. Like,
who?
Saka.
Right. You think so, yeah?
Easily, in my opinion. He's shown it now, tournament after tournament. And listen, we all sit here, I think, during club season, we all have me anyway, I have my jokes with Saka or whatever. But, bro, for England, you can't overlook what he does for them tournament after tournament. And you've seen what's going through with Kane now, who's the captain. You see what's going on with Saka. You see Bellingham, okay, he got the bicycle kick the other day, but I don't think performances have really been that shining. You always feel like Saka, though, is almost like the minimum you get out of him is a 7 out of 10 in an England shirt. No matter what kind of, they played him right wing back, he still looked the best creative outlet on the day. Do you know what I mean? So you got to give him his dues, bruv. Time and time again for England, he seems to step up. And it was the last Euros where he really kind of broke out and you thought, you know, it didn't end in the best note. But then to come back now with this one, redemption penalty, hey, fair play, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. Listen, you know, I always say Philip, Walter, Foden, Bukayo, Ayo Temidayo, Saka. Gotta give him his respect, man. You gotta give him respect. He deserves the full name layout. He deserves it. Why are you busting up, bro?
Nah, that nearly killed me. Hey, fucking hell.
He deserves the full name layout. Now, in all honesty, like yesterday's performance, I think this tournament he's been alright. I think his base level has been as you said, 6, 7 out of 10, whatever, just general decent. But I think this game, that's what you want to see every single game, bro. And it's not even about, remember, everyone in England has been kind of meaty. But that game, bro, he had that fullback on toast, bro. Yeah. He had that fullback on toast every single time. And I remember I said it earlier in the tournament. I said the safest pass for England is Bukayo Saka.
Outlet. Yeah.
If you're under pressure, pass it to Saka. If you're, you know what I mean? If you're looking for an outlet, pass it to Saka. If you want to retain, pass it to Saka, bro. It's always the safest pass. And if you actually look at the most passes that were done and most progressive, all of it was Saka. Like most received Saka. That is the outlet. That is the safest pass because you see like how we talk about Grealish with retention. He can give you penetration and pause. That's crazy. But he can do both. Yeah, I mean, no, but he can do both. He can be devastating and he can retain. Do you get where I'm coming from? So that was crazy. But you know what I mean? So when I'm looking at him, when I'm looking at that performance, listen, big players, big moments, big goals.
Facts.
You know what I'm trying to say? For him to pop up with that goal and the manner in it of it, it wasn't no deflected cross that he's back post or Tony knocks it across the box. Nah, Saka said, give me the ball. All right, cool.
Bro,
Cutting, whipsies. I loved it.
After he scored it, because he did the similar goal against United, if I'm not mistaken, and Forest.
Further out against
Forest as well, if I remember, where he kind of cutting. And I remember the start of the season, and I was thinking, if he can almost like unlock that move and make it like a regular thing, he unlocks a whole new bag and just becomes a threat in a different way, bro.
I just respected the whole thing of taking ownership because again, England played better in this game. A lot of people have been really critical on the performances, and yet they still went a goal behind. But again, when your team are looking for someone to stand up to the mantle, who is going to be the player that says, I'm going to do it? And that's what he showcased in that game.
Big difference between England's performance in the last couple of games and their performance now is that one player stepped up and played to the level that we know he had. Saka played to the level, he played to Arsenal level yesterday. That's the level that he played to, and that was enough for England to become a threatening team, for England to become much better offensively, in my opinion. So obviously that if he can play like this in his best position, and other guys in their best positions are not giving you anything, it's like, why move that guy?
Yeah, get them out the team.
So I fully understood both sides of that discussion. But Saka looks like one of them players that is complete. He just understands the game, and that doesn't only come down to your footballing talent. That comes down to your IQ. The biggest thing I've always rated Saka from was his IQ. Is his IQ and how his understanding of the game is excellent, and that's why he's going to be able to be playing all these positions. I think Saliba is better than Van Dijk now, personally.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's.
Do you think the mantle's been passed over?
I think so. Yeah, and that's not a knock. That doesn't mean that Van Dijk is like all of a sudden 50th in the list. But I just think Saliba, he's different, bro.
Because obviously, people like
I think
people
he's definitely up there.
For you, what is it that's made Saliba past that place now? Is it the fact that in terms of his defensive nature, no one's getting the better of him? Is it because of this, how people say aura, that he's able to get the ball and move forward? What is it about his defending that you've gone?
Who's that with
Saliba? What's ticked it over this tournament?
I think it's consistent. I think it's consistency of the last 2 years as well. By the way, I think I think Van Dijk was good, but I think Saliba was better last season for me. I think so than Van Dijk.
I felt like that was almost like Van Dijk's return.
I thought it was a little bit boosted. I think it wasn't. I get it. It was better because he had dropped off the season before, obviously had the injuries and stuff. Yeah. And he got back to a very good level. But I think Saliba was playing at a higher level. I think so. I think you saw the importance of Saliba to Arsenal when he went down, and this season played every single minute of the season in the Premier League. He's solid. How many people really do you see really phase Saliba? No, I'm not saying he's Van Dijk, peak Van Dijk level, where that guy was unbeatable.
No.
But I think he's approaching a very, very, very high level. I don't see any weakness in his game, bro. Same way I didn't see any weakness in Van Dijk's game. But I think I see more errors and weaknesses in Van Dijk, current Van Dijk, than William Saliba.
I don't think we've even seen that throughout this tournament. But I do think it's only a matter of time. I can't really have a bias to any player, but Arsenal player. But I think he is just so good, bro. Like, I genuinely look at how big do you think the gap is between him and Gabriel?
Who? I think Saliba's comfortably better than Gabriel. Comfortably. People, I know Arsenal fans going to say, he had a better season.
Let me read the super
I think Saliba is level. I think Saliba is different, bro.
Because I remember at points last year was a case of some people saying like Gabriel doesn't get his flowers. No, he is the A side. He is the big dog. And then
let me read this.
The pendulum swings back and forth.
I think that always happens. Though. Like, you get somebody getting flowers, and then the underrated one becomes the. I mean, that happens a lot. You see it at football clubs all the time. I remember one time. Man United were going to play Barcelona, and Rooney was like, nah, Messi's not the issue. It's Iniesta. I'm like,
Man, shut up, man.
It's going to take a while or whatever for Saliba to get to like peak Van Dijk level. Peak Van Dijk is one of the best centre-backs you've seen in the Prem. Of course, he's young. Like, he's one of the best centre-backs you've seen. But the same way I looked at Van Dijk in terms of, again, if you talk about peak Van Dijk, he was faster, he was more dominant in the air. Now, for Saliba to get to that level, he's going to have to do extraordinary things, if you get what I'm saying, just as an individual player.
Yeah.
But same way I was looking at Van Dijk in terms of like, damn, like, you ain't really got much weaknesses, you know what I'm trying to say? I look at Saliba like that.
I agree with that.
You want to have a race?
Yeah.
I can race.
You want to go 50-50?
You want to go 50-50? Yeah. I can turn.
You want to try pin me down?
Bro, he can do everything. And I look at this era, and I'm always critical about quality, but I genuinely look at Saliba as one of them players that, I can drop you any era, anytime. You're going to be, you would have been top. You would have been top on that. So can I just comment on one thing, A lot of people say this stuff like, look at Saliba's aerial ability, and I see that on the FB ref, his aerials isn't like one of the highest in the centre backs in world football. But when I watch Saliba, I'm not even gonna. That is something that I've like gone out of my way to really look at, because I'm like, okay, if this FB ref or whatever is saying that he's not one of the best centre backs in the world in terms of heading, like he's let's just say he's in the 70% percentile or whatever, right? I've watched it and I'm like, but I don't even see him getting like battered aerially. Like, I don't really see it. So I'm
this is the problem. This is
like,
the problem with stats.
Is this stat like? Is it because he's not going? I don't get it because I don't watch him getting dominated aerially.